So, let's also not overlook the impact of inflation, on whatever success may happen. At the moment, we're having to deal with inflation, and inflation was also one of the top, issues discussed, and almost all those who participated in that annual, discussion were impacted one way or the other by inflation. And I was particularly intrigued by the question the moderator asked and the response by one of the participants. The moderator asked, "Have you been able to put inflation into the bottle?" And one of the participants, to whom that question was directed, he said, "Look, this is the bottle, this is the gin or genie. The head of the genie is inside the bottle. The body is inside the bottle, but the legs are outside, probably trapped." So I should also ask, have we been able to bottle inflation, to be able to leverage all of, these very fantastic, deals that our leaders are making, especially from Davos?
Well, I think there are, from our last figures, there are indications that we are bottling the genie, as it were. The CBN policies are working. I can see an obvious relationship between the fiscal and the monetary policy authorities. And to a large extent, the last figure showed that even the food inflation that had been a major concern, it was falling.
It's falling, yes, I must confess.
Yes, and that the core inflation, which usually had been the conservative aspect of the basket, is the one that actually rose. And rose particularly because of the peculiarity of December, in our calendar, with more money, more demands, and all that. And of course, that pushed it a bit. So we have also seen we saw a marginal increase in inflation rates in December 2024. So to a large extent, there's a consensus that inflation rate will start falling. And what is even more practical for me was the declaration.
So the head is already inside the bottle?
I'm very sure we're going to push it inside. And of course, because the president...
Before you go to Kaduna, yes, Professor Ife, what do you think? Is inflation trapped?
I like to call it stagflation, because Nigeria has the most complicated form of inflation. Usually in most advanced countries, it is a linear relationship. People always look at money supply, or they are looking at structural inflation. In Nigeria, it's far more complicated. That's why today you think you've got it, tomorrow is out of the bottle. It's out of the bottle. But generally speaking, even though there will still be a small rise from February to March, but it will begin to moderate from March and then start coming down around July, August. That's when it will start coming. There's nothing near 15%, maybe about 25, 26%. But it's a very tough call, because you look at the four major causes of inflation that are all active in Nigeria: imported inflation, cost push inflation, demand pull inflation, and then cross-border demand pull inflation because of our exchange rate. So it's very, very complicated stuff.
All right.
But there's a handle on it.
All right.